One of the things that we have been talking about all morning has been change. The change is not just in the way the industry sees itself, it's in the way consumers interact with the industry. We have a smarter consumer, a digital consumer, a technology-driven consumer. And businesses that understand that this is the consumer of the future are the ones that are going to survive in the future. The retailer going forward is going to have to embrace technology. They're going to have to create innovative solutions that address the concerns that consumers have, whether they're shopping in stores or whether they're shopping online. Cognitive computing systems are becoming that secret weapon that retailers are going to need and are going to have to use to get those consumers back into their stores. Systems that think and understand the way humans do and bring through senses, learning, and experience to bring about the future of retail. To talk about this art of the possible, I'd like to call on stage our global keynote speaker, IBM's General Manager of Watson Customer Engagement, Watson Internet of Things and Education, ladies and gentlemen, Harriet Green.
It's time to think about new possibilities. Possibilities like spotting new trends and discovering new opportunities to better understand and serve your customers. Possibilities made real with Watson Customer Engagement. Watson is your trusted advisor, an expert on your team that learns from every interaction and extends that knowledge across your entire business, unlocking virtually any data to understand your customers better, taking personalization to a new level by anticipating their needs, empowering you to optimize merchandising and streamline fulfillment, enabling you to predict disruptions and alerting you to potential issues before they become real problems. Marketing, commerce, and supply chain professionals are entering a new era of business. They're discovering the only end-to-end cognitive customer engagement platform that gives them the power to open new markets and fuel growth, drive collaboration and mitigate risk, and deliver agile execution all at scale. With a cognitive partner by your side that is always learning and getting smarter, helping you and your team provide exactly what your customers want at every step of their journey. Watson Customer Engagement. Think of the possibilities.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Very quiet in here. All these vibes, all this thought that we have to apply to the challenges ahead. Well, thank you. I am thrilled to be back here in Mumbai. We'll start that again. I am delighted to be back here in Mumbai. Yesterday we had an amazing Internet of Things, Genius of Things event, where we really looked at all of the possibilities of these opportunities here in India. And today, I get the opportunity to talk to you all about these amazing possibilities in retail in this age of disruption. And we're really hearing a great deal about digital disruption this week. As we prep for this meeting, as we talk all, there are about 300 million people across the country that are now shopping online. About the rise of e-commerce pure plays like Flipkart and Snapdeal and, of course, our friends at Amazon, challenging the incumbents and the brick-and-mortar shops. And also about the rise of mobile commerce, accelerated by a move to an entirely cashless society and driving an urgent need for truly seamless omni-channel shopping experiences. So things are really changing very quickly, and it can be quite unnerving. But I've been around long enough to know that these industry transformations are not just challenges. There are some incredible opportunities, because I think what I'd like to share is some of the power of technology to transform, to elevate entire industries. And in this environment, with the tools we have at our disposal right now, and an Indian retail market that's poised to nearly double in size in the next 5 years, I see nothing but possibilities for both the incumbents and the disruptors alike. The possibility of crafting truly personalized offers and promotions for customers based on their location or on the weather forecast. The possibility of understanding exactly where a customer is in their buying journey and delivering the right promotion at the right time through the right channel or marketplace. And the possibility of delivering a world-class, a first-class customer experience, regardless of whether that customer is shopping in a store, on a laptop, on their phone. These are the opportunities before us, and they have the potential to radically transform the way retailers engage their customers. But there is work to be done. And that is because there is a disconnect that we're experiencing right now, a sort of chasm between the experience that customers really expect and the experience that retailers are actually providing. We call it the great customer experience divide. I think we all understand what we mean by this, but I'll sum it up. More than 80% of retailers think that they are providing an unbelievably holistic view of their customers. And yet only 37% of those customers agree. That's a huge gap. And in looking in these numbers, it's hard not to conclude that we might not know our customers as well as we think that we do. And this is where Watson Customer Engagement comes in. I know that many of you are already familiar with Watson, IBM's enterprise-grade intelligence platform, built for business and totally capable of processing vast amounts of data, of combining it with unstructured data sources, and finding patterns and recommendations, and recommending in natural language new courses of action. Watson scales, it learns, and it reasons. And it develops real domain expertise, diving deep into a particular industry, understanding the business context, and extracting very specific insight. Many of you have heard that by the end of this year, Watson will have touched more than 1 billion people around the world. And you may also have heard that Watson interacted with airlines 500 billion times 2 weeks ago to help reroute the flights around Hurricane Irma in the US. Or you may have read about how Watson is helping oncologists diagnose cancer, and teachers personalize their lesson plans, and musicians write hit songs. But what you may not know is that Watson has been infused into IBM's entire retail solution portfolio. From the marketing that helps you understand and engage customers, like the real-time analytics we do with the Home Shopping Network, to help tailor and personalize messaging to each individual shopper, to the supply chain that helps you fulfill orders, like the work we do with Yoox Net-a-Porter, to create smarter order management and meet every customer's expectation on every delivery. To the commerce solutions that reach right across the channels, like the omni-channel work we're doing with Puma that you're going to hear about a little later. But it doesn't end with the technology portfolio. Watson Customer Engagement is supported by a global army of IBMers 750 industry retail experts around the world, and they have a very deep understanding of digital transformation and the work that we do with each of the top 10 retailers by region around the world. And they have centuries of experience between them. So don't forget that IBM is the company that actually invented the barcode, the system that fundamentally changed the way that retail goods are bought and sold. And now we're doing it again with Watson Customer Engagement, the most complete, the most advanced, and the most trusted cognitive solution in the marketplace. And let's look at 3 specific ways in which Watson is helping retail clients turn these possibilities into actual realities and outcomes. You may have heard some of these statistics before, but I think they bear some repetition. 2.5 exabytes, that's 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are processed every day. That's the equivalent of 250,000 libraries of Congress, or 90 years of HD video every single day. And here's another statistic. 80% of that data is totally unstructured, currently unsearchable. Video, audio, text, photographs, and every single media posting, all unstructured, all considered dark data, impenetrable by traditional software analysis. Within this dark data lies the sentiments of billions of consumers, the media that influences our thinking, and the trends that drive markets. Until recently, the value in this data was inaccessible to many retailers. But Watson has changed all of that. Watson unlocks the value of this dark data. It analyzes video. It can understand text. And it can even discern the emotional content of social media. It learns over time, digesting these vast quantities of complex information, interpreting it, and driving insight. That's cognitive computing. And Watson Customer Engagement is the only cognitive suite of solutions specifically based on the retail market. And I want to make an important point here too, if I may. When you trust IBM with your valuable data, we will not pool it together with data from other clients. We will not anonymize or aggregate or share with other companies. And we will not use your data to our own benefit. Your data and your insight, that everything that it yields is yours and yours alone. And that is our complete and unique promise to you. Now, to give you a tangible sense of how unique Watson is and how it can help you in almost any aspect of retail, I want to share with you a very short video about how Watson is helping to identify and predict trends in the fashion industry, something that just a few years ago would have seemed absolutely impossible. Please take a look at this.
That tension between what has been and what is to come, that's what we use to create designs for the here and now, for what is.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be a designer in India.
India doesn't imitate the international scene anymore. We create our own fashion, which shapes and becomes a part of the global conversation.
We're thrilled to work with IBM because Watson's capabilities let us visually travel back and forth in time and space in mere seconds.
Watson's image recognition ability is not only human-like, it's better. It studies vast image banks and gives really genuine insights. Bollywood has shaped fashion in India for decades, but now fashion shapes Bollywood. Which is why we tasked Watson to study the last half century of Bollywood, as well as the international fashion scene.
And the results that Watson gave us were astonishing. We saw all the major trends over a very long period of time and some obscure ones too.
Enormity of a task of this scale, I'm not saying it's not doable, but I doubt we would have undertaken it by ourselves.
What we've done with this dress is a synthesis, a kind of fusion of different cultures and old and new ways of doing things.
And this is just the beginning. We aim to use Watson to help augment the entire design process.
What's amazing is it doesn't feel like technology. It feels like you're communicating with a higher intelligence that gives you the answers you want, fast, very fast. This is not just the future of fashion. This is the future.
So Watson Consult, oh, thank you. I think it's a beautiful video too, so thank you for that. Watson Consulting on fashion trends with creative work like this. You know, you can start to get a sense of what's possible in retail today. And the benefits of cognitive computing extend all the way through the product life cycle. Take ABOF, the online fashion retailer, for example. The company wanted to personalize its shopping experience and cut down on returns because of improper fittings. So they worked with IBM and our partner ecosystem to develop an e-commerce platform which includes a custom content and a wonderful virtual fitting room. The solution serves up story-driven, snackable content rather than a giant scroll of product, and the content draws shoppers to specific products much more naturally. And when they find something that they like, they can try it on. By entering a few body measurements, they can see how the clothes really look on them and their unique body type. The results have been very clear and very quantifiable. Shoppers use the service convert nearly 3 times as often and spend 3 times as much. That's what I call bottom line benefits. But what about the physical stores? The old brick and mortar shops? What's Watson able to do here? A lot, as it turns out. McKinsey says that the Internet of Things could have a $1 trillion impact on the retail market by 2025. They're talking about connected stores where shopper interaction can be analyzed and captured. They're talking about contextualized marketing, augmented checkout, virtual fitting rooms, and more. So there is a tremendous opportunity for IoT in retail, and IBM is already leading the way with this. We've got thousands of IoT clients in nearly every industry, including retail. And with our Watson headquarters in Munich, we're revolutionizing how many people engage with the physical world. Let me give you a real-life example. Bernhardt is one of the largest family-owned furniture makers in the United States. They make stunningly beautiful furniture. And their business hinges on 2 things: huge wholesale shows every year, where they show off their latest designs to retailers. But the sales reps, you know, were carrying these ginormous catalogs and paper forms. Process was cumbersome, error-prone, and the company had no sense of how many customers move through their showrooms and where to, you know, specific merchandise. IBM has helped them go digital. We put tablets in the hands of every single seller and sensors throughout the 100,000 square foot showroom to give them a better understanding of their customers' inventory and physical space. And during their largest buyer event, they were able to collect and analyze 2.9 million data points in a single week. When they realized that the traffic in one of the rooms was significantly less than they expected, they turned that into data in real time to find out why and what they do about it. They discovered that the physical layout of the room was making it really hard for shoppers to actually shop So they reorganized it, tweaked it, improved the flow. The buyers started to come in. Those in the moment actionable insights along with mobile empowered sellers helped Bernhardt engage 20% more customers and increase sales by 20% just in that week. Their overall payback is equally impressive. The return on the investment for the seller showroom, just the app alone, was 196% in just 6 months. So what becomes possible when you can mine the digital dark data from online mediums, and you can then observe the behavior of customers in the physical stores themselves? Well, you can begin to understand sort of the 360-degree customer. You can get much clearer picture of their end-to-end buying journey and deliver a quality, consistent experience, both online and offline. And that's what we call omnichannel, of course. And it's the ultimate goal of all of our customer efforts. And to help illustrate this point, I've got a very special guest from one of my favorite clients. The client is Puma, a beloved global brand that 2 years ago embarked on a stunning digital transformation with IBM, a transformation that demonstrates the power of an omni-channel operation. The journey started with an IBM solution that created a single, unified view across the company. And then on that foundation, Puma is developing truly seamless customer experience across all channels. Today, the company's share price has increased some 50% in the last 12 months, and they expect to grow ×3 in revenue in the next 2 years. Their tagline is forever faster, and with revenue growth like that, they're back in it. So please join me in a very warm welcome to Jackson Fernandez, who is head of e-commerce from Puma. Jackson. Well, thank you for joining us here today. You look so cool and trendy. I wanted to wear my Puma gear, but
should have.
Yeah, I have other more formal clients later. So tell us a bit in your own words about the digital transformation that you and Puma are undertaking. Some of the goals, some of the challenges, your experiences.
Yeah, so probably I'll start with the need for the transformation, right? So we realized that there are 3 major driving forces for the need for this transformation. So the primary is our customers are changing, right? Historically, our customers used to discover us offline and make the purchase decision offline, but that's rapidly transforming. The millennials are making their buying decisions online, they're discovering products online, and they're buying online. So if we aren't online and in their consideration set, we become irrelevant. The second is the competition and our industry peers, the kind of innovation that's happening in retail. If you don't ride the wave, we will be left out. The third is around efficiency. With all the advances in technology, we are able to measure every touch point, and unless we work on the data and mine it efficiently, we cannot build the efficiency. So the transformation that we are driving is on 2 fronts. One is inward looking, where the digital DNA of the company is being built, and the second is the external transformation, which is connecting the customer at every touch point, from discovery to the purchase decision to the order fulfillment and post-sales, yes. Right? And at every touch point, creating the sense of, from the customer view, it's a single company, whether it's online or offline, and for us, it's customer 360, like you mentioned.
Yes.
So that's been the goal for us. Yeah.
Fantastic. And this living and breathing of omni-channel. Sure. So there are challenges, aren't there, with omni-channel? So tell us a bit about the challenges and what you've learned, Jackson.
Yeah, so omni is actually a widely used term, and I kind of have my experiences with omni, right? So we embarked on this omni journey, and primarily from a fulfillment bit, about 1.5 years, 2 years back, right? Was a kind of half-baked solution, I would say. And like you mentioned, we are forever faster. We try to experiment, learn what from our experiment, and then move on, right? So what my key learnings are on two fronts. One is on people, second is on technology. I'll probably dwell with technology because that's easier, right? And it's more evident. So for us, the biggest piece of the puzzle was accuracy around inventory across offline and online, right? And we need systems that are smart, that can connect us effectively to the selling platforms, online, offline marketplaces, and connect it back to the inventory and fulfillment centers. And that's why technologies like IBM can really, that we can leverage upon. The second is about people, where aligning them, orienting them to the right goals, incentivizing them and training them. And that will make Omni really successful. And that's been my learnings. We are replatforming, we are embarking on the Omni journey again, and hopefully this time it'll be a lot more successful than last time. Yeah.
And we'd love to get your view on how you see the artificial intelligence, the cognitive capabilities affecting the customer experience.
Right. So for me, I think AI is mainstream. If we are thinking about technology and implementing technology across customer life cycle, it has to be smart, it has to be cognitive. It should not just work on certain rules that we have set, but it needs to learn through the process. And walking across the customer life cycle, right from the point, like we were mentioning, identifying who your customer is, right?
Yes.
Whether he or she is an existing customer, what's been the buying pattern, whether he or she is not a customer, has been saying something on social media. So there's this enormous amount of data that needs to be crunched and figured out so that I can have the right targeting for you, right? What's the offering that would probably be right for you, and what's the right moment for that, right? And once you arrive on a selling platform, and this is across online and offline, right? I'm not only talking about online just because I'm head of e-com. Offline is very, very important for us. Similarly, once the customer reaches a selling platform, whether it's online or offline, having the right product at the right price point to them, and getting them to buy that, right? And once the purchase is made, then the whole omni fulfillment, whether it's buy at store, get it delivered home, buy online, get it delivered in the store, the entire piece come in. And then stuff like inventory management, safety stock, all those criticalities come in, and a cognitive system can help us achieve that. And then, of course, the customer support around intuitive chat, chatbots, etc. I think it is across the whole value chain that we need intelligent systems, and we're deploying that at this point of time. Right.
Well, thank you so much. It's been wonderful for you to share with the audience and to be such an innovative client for us to work with. Jackson, thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, the customer experience work we're doing is so inspiring with Puma, it really is. And I think it's great to be able to demonstrate that. And the client, in this case Jackson and Puma, talk about the realities and the outcomes in retail. There are challenges, of course, it's retail, and there are always challenges, but those that I think are willing to move ahead, to throw light on this dark data, to imagine the customer experience in physical stores, and to close this gap between what customers expect and what they get, the opportunities we think are truly endless. I hope you're inspired to explore those opportunities, and I hope that when you do embark upon this journey, you'll call on me and my team to help. My contact information is up on the screen, and we'd welcome the opportunity to listen to your needs and to try and help. So a very big thank you for listening to me this morning.